Thank you very much, Madam President. Senator Sessions, thank you for leading these few minutes of debate that we were allowed. It's really an extraordinary situation where we are as a nation, that we're here with only a few minutes of debate about what has become the most serious situation our country has ever faced, and that's our debt. When President Obama was a senator in 2006, he said increasing America's debt weakens us domestically and internationally. Admiral Mullins, our Joint Chiefs of Staff, our Chief of Staff has said that our biggest national security threat is our debt. We know that the rating agencies that look at our financial condition, like Standard & Poor's, have downgraded us. We know that major capital funds have divested of Treasury notes, concerned about our political will to deal with our debt. Yet we don't have a budget. We don't have any plan to deal with the debt. And everything Republicans put forward in the House and the Senate, the Democrats sit on the sidelines and criticize, misrepresent, and yet offer no solutions themselves. It's hard to deal with $14 trillion in debt and what it really means. Here's one chart that's somewhat helpful. We know that Greece and Ireland and Portugal, we're hearing in the news that they're bankrupt, they're close to defaulting, they're having to be bailed out by the International Monetary Fund. These charts just show the percent of debt relative to their total economy, their GDP. We see Greece is already at 136. Ireland is at 75%. Portugal, 82%. And if you add all the liabilities that we have as a nation, we're already at 95%, which means we have more debt relative to our total economy than Portugal and Ireland already. And very soon we're on a track to even outpace Greece. Yet we don't even have a budget here, no plan of what to spend. When Republicans talk about the need to cut spending, all we get is criticism. The President has actually submitted a budget that nearly doubles our debt over the next 10 years. We'll get a chance to vote on it. Not even the Democrats are going to vote for that budget. But they have not presented one on their own. We'll also get a chance to vote on the House budget. The Democrats think if we do, that's going to hurt us. But I think you'll see most Republicans vote for it because they know we have to deal with Medicare. The President's budget cuts what Medicare pays doctors another 35%. Already, about 50% of the doctors in this country will not see new Medicare patients. The President cut $500 billion from Medicare to help pay for Obamacare, and somehow can look us in the eye and say, this strengthened Medicare. The fact is the Democrats have Medicare on a course of bankruptcy, which is going to happen much sooner than is projected because people won't be able to find a doctor if the President's budget is implemented anywhere close to where it's going to be implemented. Republicans are trying to save Medicare and make sure there are options for seniors in the future that will be good options for them, that they'll have a way to pay for health care in the future. Medicare will not be there. Anyone who looks at seniors today and tells seniors that traditional Medicare is going to be there 5 or 10 years from now is not telling the truth, because it's not. Doctors will not see Medicare patients at the rate we're going to pay. All we're doing today is we've got some what we call message votes, show votes. They're set up to fail. The majority leader does not intend to pass any budget, not the President's budget, not a Republican budget. They won't even offer one on their own. So we're going to leave here today with this situation right here, with America approaching a debt level which we've seen take down other countries and continue to ignore the obvious. And as has already been referenced by Senator Ayotte, the majority leader actually said there's no need to have a Democrat budget. It would be foolish of us to do a budget at this stage. It would be foolish because it would reveal what they really intend to do, which is to keep spending and keep borrowing, keep investing, Keep growing government programs and not making those hard decisions that have to be made to pull our country away from the edge of a cliff, which is where we are. Everyone outside of Washington seems to understand that we've got an urgent situation right now. Yet here we are today with just these show votes of a budget with no intent of dealing with this at all. When what we need to be doing is recognizing the president who has said our debt is our biggest problem and that it's a failure of leadership to ask for an increase in the debt ceiling, is we need to recognize that we cannot raise this debt ceiling. We cannot increase our debt unless we make the hard decisions that need to be made for the future. And the only decision that will really change this place is if we pass a balanced budget requirement for the Congress that the states have to ratify. If we pass that this year before we voted on the debt ceiling, then the people of this country and all 50 states would have a chance to ratify that. It would take a year, 2, 3 years to be ratified, and then there's another 5 years implementation built into the bill. So we're talking 6 or 8 years to get to a balanced budget. If we cannot make that commitment as a Congress, we are in effect committing to bankrupt our country. Because all of us know we can't keep spending more than we're bringing in when they're already telling us we're at a debt level that's going to bankrupt our country, that we can't even pay the interest if interest rates go up at all. We have got to be responsible, and what we're doing today is completely irresponsible. I can't raise the rhetorical level high enough to talk about the absurdity of where we are here. We put our country in danger, our future at risk, yet we're having show votes on budgets and no budget at all from the Democrat majority. So, Madam President, I appreciate the senator from Alabama at least taking this time that we have to point out the real issues here and the urgency of the matter and the fact that we need to move from show to real substance. We can't roll up our sleeves and work together if the other side does not agree we have a problem. And we do have a problem, and the only way to change that is for us to agree here as a Congress to balance our budget within a reasonable window and to put that structure on us so that we keep that budget balance in the future. Thank you, Senator Sessions, and I will yield back.